Welcome to Port Arthur historical site. Have a good look around here for this video. Well, I got to the Tasman Peninsula and booked into the caravan park actually for the night, and just decided to make my way into here. The ticket goes for 2 days, so got into Port Arthur. Sort of feels unreal that you're here. I mean, this is, you see this in so many photos, but it's the penitentiary. So these are all cells. Oh yeah. So the prisoners wouldn't have a window in their cell, that was just on the outside. So these are the size of their cells. Gee. So there's 2 levels here, there and up there. Photos and how it must have looked many years ago. It's huge. You can kind of superimpose what it looked like. So I think this was the bakery. These sort of look like ovens. Oh yeah, picture of bread there. This is the like ablution area here. I think it's also like an exercise yard. Yeah, apparently when they used to have tourists here, they used to souvenir bricks and take whatever they could. Being reinforced. Apparently the upper level, they could all intermingle, but the lower 2 levels they weren't allowed to. So there were 4 levels. Yeah, see, they're trying to keep it from falling. The guide said it can stay up for another 100 years. So they say. There's this thing, 1842 to 45, it was a flour mill. It had a massive wheel inside, grindstones. 1854 to 57, converted to a penitentiary. 1897, fire. 1912 to the 40s, collapse. So the main section, 1967 to present. There's the church. There's some bells. Port Arthur bells are the oldest chime of bells in Australia and are believed to be the first cast in this country. Oh. So the chime of bells was played like a musical instrument by a single convict. Oh, so this is the church. This is a famous church. You've seen a lot of the openings too. It was never consecrated, which means that lots of different faiths could come here and worship. And it was compulsory to worship here on a Sunday. Apparently they had a curtain or something where the free people sat at the front and the prisoners were standing at the back behind a curtain. Yeah, so they were all pretty much destroyed from the fires. I'm heading up to the separate prison, which was apparently like full-on solitary prison. They only allowed out of their rooms for an hour. But yeah, this is like the freshwater stream, I think the guide was saying. Yeah. So this is the separate prison. The prison was in a prison, so like one of those big supermax type prisons. They spent all their time in here. They had to make brooms. Lived on hammocks. So they all had to live in silence. I'm whispering because there was a sign outside saying, "Be quiet." Just imagine they weren't allowed to speak. Must have been their exercise yards. So they were allowed out of their cell for 1 hour a day to exercise. I think she said there was over 150,000 people came through. So they were allowed to take that cap peak off their face. But as soon as they left here, they had to put it back on. Yeah, so after you do a fair bit of reading, of course, the area was sold off for private ownership, so it became a town. And things were modified. I think the fellow who had this separate prison tried to knock holes in the walls to make windows, because he turns it into a hotel. So it was built in 1868. So that was the asylum. That was done up like a little bit of a museum in there too. Just about to go on the cruise. boat trip. That's the Commandant's residence, the barracks and the penitentiary. Dockyard, 1834 to 48. So that's a photo of the bark Lady Franklin, which was built at Port Arthur Dockyard in 1842. So just down there. These are the dockyards. It's like a bit of a kind of a sculpture of a boat. So used to make them here as well. We've got little speakers here with the sound of saws.
Hand me that plane, John.
This was a workshop. Blacksmith. Must have been a chimney, I guess. Furnace. This is the shipwrights' accommodation. Don't know if you can get in. Look at that. I wonder what this big yard was. Oh, we've got bags of potatoes here. That's what it is. They grew crops here. It's interesting how they bring things to life with the speakers, and you know, like anywhere, everything's got so much history. It's quite good. You can just sort of read the raised metal here. Boat shed, 1835. Can't quite read that. Overseer's hut, 1834. All concrete, all that stone is worn down on the steps. That sign there says Clerk of Works House. So that's who it is. Drain. It's an interesting looking building. Yep, so it was the hospital. Built in the early 1830s. The signage was saying when the prison was closed, this was sold off for £300. The Catholic Church turned it into a boys' home. Then it was destroyed by fire in the 1895 fire. Just think that all these bricks been made by the convicts. This looks a lot like the penitentiary building. Oh, you can go right in. Oh, they've got like metal beds there. Oh, you can go up. Upstairs. You can see the bunk beds there. Need to be careful. Wow, it's a huge place. So basically a day and a half I've spent here. Yeah, this building quite prominent up on the hill here, the hospital. There's a lot of little chicks in there, I think. And the wall up on this hill, I think, was where the garrison was. So buildings, dormitories. Look at this random stone. It's not just a stone, it's all been carved. Corner. I find those everywhere. So this is a semaphore signal station. They get the different things on different angles to send messages. So I know over at the post office, over there was another one. So they can communicate, probably like the ships do with their flags. Tower. Yeah, look, patterns in the brickwork. Yeah, they really were into design. Finished in 1836. This might be the Commandant's house. So this is the Commandant. All that Wedgwood. I suppose it's Wedgwood. Like meat in there. So I'm in a section here where a lot of the, I think they refer to them as bureaucrats lived. So free people, lawyers and magistrates and reverends and their families. So Port Arthur's post office. That's what this became. So this house here has had several owners and has been a hotel twice, and it was the used as the Hotel Arthur. It was the base for the cast and crew filming for the term of his natural life in the movie. There's a time capsule buried here in 1977 to be opened 2nd of October 2077. So this is to commemorate the naming of Port Arthur, named in honour of His Excellency Colonel George Arthur, Lieutenant Governor of Van Diemen's Land in 1830. So this is the Trentham Cottage. called the Government Gardens. This is the Avenue of Honour. It's just saying here, after Port Arthur closed the prison in 1877, the land was subdivided for farms and orchards. Gave rise to a new township officially named Carnarvon. Of April 1996. This is the Memorial Garden. Memorial Pond. This is a cross. I think they had out on the grounds for a while. The name of all the victims. 35 victims. So I'm just here at the park, and apparently all along here used to be where they used to grow the supplies for the colony. There's a currawong just here. So this is Stewart's Bay, I think it was. So it's just down from the caravan park, so the historic site's just sort of around there. So apparently it was all up around here. They had their they were growing food and everything. The convicts would go out every day just at the Port Arthur Caravan Park. This is a great little spot. Sort of on these tiered steps here, going all the way down the hill. Oh well, that's a couple of big days at Port Arthur, and I actually filled about 128 gigabytes memory card doing that. So hopefully I'll put in you know, some pretty good shots there of Port Arthur and the whole area. Yeah, it was a good place to visit. Sad and quite an eye-opener as well. Alright, if you liked that video, don't forget the thumbs up and the notification button and subscribe button, and welcome to all the new subscribers. Thanks everyone for subscribing, of course. Next video I'll sort of head down towards the Richmond, go to see the old Richmond Bridge, and sort of go over the bridge at Hobart and have a look down south of there. So I'll see you on the next one for that. Thanks for watching. All those ducks.